Black content creators, hear me and hear me well. And the person that sent me this, I understand, but like y'all gotta stop entertaining shit like this. In the sense that like, and granted, I haven't seen the video, but like we all know why rap fatigue is racism. I wouldn't say that. I think people too often mirror everything that they see within rap or hip hop culture and say that this is all also we got to have a conversation about black people too. I feel like you can definitely have a conversation or a discourse about rap. I don't believe in rap fatigue, just like I don't believe in black fatigue. But what I was saying about like black content creators interacting with, you know, ideologies like this and giving weight to them and offering a center stage on their platform with to over 500,000 people. Blackie Speaks did the same thing when it came to black fatigue and actually trying to give some level of understanding or weight to the argument was just like, what the fuck are you doing? You realize that this make you look, you know, kind of crazy, right? And you don't want to do that. You know, I just don't like for it to be given any kind of weight or that it's something that should be believed or something that you should, you know, really try to formulate an articulate opinion against because the idea of it in itself is ludicrous. It's ridiculous.
Rap is an art form. You are supposed to be saying something. When I hear y'all music, y'all don't be saying nothing.
Rap is cool and all, but it's getting outplayed, bro. It talk about hoes, money, killing. Bro, I don't want to hear that every day, bro.
I am
Bro, we got people like that are making these stories as if like they've been physically and personally attacked by the music that they're listening to. The music they choose to listen to, by the way.
Bring back real music videos with real creativity.
The whole time they never went anywhere.
I've been noticing something off about rap music lately. And I'm not a music critic, okay? We're not about to sit here and talk about mumble rap.
Listen to different
artists, WTF.
We got Ice Spice as the first person being referenced. 21 Savage.
Here and talk about
great song that she's referencing, by the way.
About mumble rap or
Iggy Azalea.
Flows. What we're getting.
Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. You have access. And it's bad, don't get me wrong. It's the worst thing in the world, but also the best thing for people that are actively looking for new music to listen to. You are in the best era. I don't care what anyone tells you, whether you're a hip hop fan, a pop fan, indie folk, whatever it is that you listen to, you're in the era where you can find anything instantly. Instantly. You don't need to go to a library to find out who made this. You don't need to go to a record shop to find out when this came out. You can, and you will find things that aren't available on streaming. You will find music that aren't, you know, readily available online. You will. But for the most part, even almost the most obscure shit you can find somewhere on a streaming platform. You're in that era. This is the greatest time in the world to be a hip hop fan. Period. So I'm listening to niggas that are listening to hip hop and rap music casually give a perspective on something that they don't even dive into. I can't take you serious when you say things like that. When there's more than alternatives to everything that you're asking for.
We already know what it's gonna sound like. And not just in the beat or the music, but in the meaning or the lack of.
For the most part, hip hop is the only genre out of every popular record or every popular genre that gets this criticism. The only one that needs to be articulate, the only one that needs to be good in every sense of the word. You can't have a bad rap song that comes out and the entire genre not get blamed for it. You can't have a bad apple or a bad seed of a rapper do something in the entire genre and not have a discussion about the black community and how they need to reflect on their internal trauma before they come back out and present themselves to white folks. You can't have a conversation about the demographic that consumes this content the most. I'm sure there's going to be a talking point somewhere in this video about how much harm this does to the black community, while also not acknowledging that white people are the consumers of the content that she's complaining about right now. They make up majority of the people that go to the shows, majority of these rappers' listeners, but the music that they make is somehow detrimental to black folks. We don't have these conversations about pop music. We don't have these conversations about country music, about rock music, about metal music, mainstream. We don't have these conversations about nothing else. You know why? Because these niggas don't listen to nothing else. They'll say, oh yeah, nah, rap Rap need to do XYZ. Why ain't they doing this? Why ain't they doing that? I'ma just keep listening to these same niggas, also not dive into it, and also not have these same criticisms for any other genre that has the exact same problems that any genre in the mainstream would have.
That were overlooked, underfunded, and almost forgotten.
This is Harlem, a place almost everybody has heard of.
Geraldo, oh my fucking god. This the context?
So in these places where people didn't have much, but they still had something to say, rap became the voice that mainstream media never cared to give them.
I love how ancient they'll like present these videos. As if this exact style of hip hop is not being made. The likelihood of you finding something like this that was made in 2025 is higher than you finding a drill song. But they'll reform it and recontextualize it as if, oh shit, nah, order all the real rappers. I think our point is that mainstream hip hop is not in this vein anymore. Yeah, because it's been commercialized. So what do you do as a listener who claims to still be a fan of the genre that you have any type of allegiance to or like or know and love? What do you do when you don't see it as readily or as publicly available? Do you continue to rely on the system that basically pimps out the genre that was meant to give power to the voiceless? Do you continue to rely on that system to give you and feed you music, or do you make content or make points and assertions about the genre as a whole, talking about how they're not spawning new people to listen to? I feel like the option is very obvious for a person that finds themselves in that position. You could say a couple rappers sold hip hop out in its point. You could say that. You could also say, okay, let me look elsewhere.
As more ears were able to experience rap, that's when things started to change. Fast forward to the 90s, and rap had started to grow from a neighborhood sound to a cultural movement.
I wonder when she's going to, or if there's going to be a point here where we talk about the integration of different cultures within hip hop beyond a certain point. When we started to look much different as a hip hop based community. After a certain someone's began to label themselves as rappers and were the highest selling within the genre for a point in time, and then you were seeing a whole new face in the crowd.
I really mean this with no shade at all, but don't y'all get tired of rapping about like drugs and drinking? It's the same topics like every single time. Don't y'all be living?
Take these fucking headphones and plug them into a computer that has access to the internet so you can search through a bunch of records and albums where there are plenty of artists that are talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about. There is no shortage of niggas that are rapping about anything that you want to hear about. Literally anything. You want to hear a nigga rapping about systemic injustice? It's a nigga. You want to hear a nigga talking about his own personal struggles and coming through them in a poetic way? You got Navy Blue. There's so many people that you can listen to whenever you feel like listening to it. And that's why I say this is the best time to be a hip hop fan. You have access to anything and everything. And you get mad when the guys that are at the top in the algorithm and the entities that are supposed to push the dollar to you give you niggas that are supposed to be listened to for profit. The type of rap these people listen to is music that's supposed to exist in the background, inoffensive, that isn't supposed to, isn't supposed to stir the pot, isn't supposed to move the needle. It's repetition to get you through. It's background. That's all it is. And you're going to find that type of slop in every genre.
And some people want to listen to those lyrics and they still want to relate in a sense, right? So when every rapper or even pop stars are speaking about their 10 cars,
that is such a selfish way to consume music. You want to relate to it. So I mostly want to listen to people that I relate to. I'm not saying music like that doesn't hit you harder, but to limit yourself in that way is just so like reductive of everything that the genre can be to you as a music listener.
I'm not saying that these types of lyrics shouldn't be in these songs. I can't control these people. God forbid if these rappers couldn't talk about how much money they made and their status. What are they gonna talk about? World peace?
Okay, playlist for new rap music that's done drop. Let's see what they talking about.
Playlist for new rap music. This is where y'all getting y'all recs. You're getting your recs from a Spotify playlist and wondering why you're hearing the same song. These are unserious niggas. My nigga, look at your dreads, gang. Like Look, it's certain shit that like that irk me sometimes that make me mad, but like you can't say certain shit to me, and I know like the width in the way the square root of each lock is just not. You know what you did.
So if you're not familiar with Megan Thee Stallion, she has become one of the biggest female rappers of this time. So when she released her new song, Lover Girl, I'm pretty sure some people were expecting one thing, but a lot of people were expecting something different.
We know that you have good poom poom. We know that your is bodacious and to die for. Like, we get it. We know, Megan. Please talk about something else.
I'm at a point where I can, of course, criticize Megan Thee Stallion for making a record like this. The song that it references, I feel like is way too, what do you say, sensual for me to look at in the same way that Megan Thee Stallion repurposes the sample. So I'm not in love with the song or anything like that. But I feel it's again my obligation to, if I want, and she's not providing what I would need or what I would request, to go and find the person that will. Given how she's, shown examples of introspectiveness in her music before, talked about her traumas and her past and her life before, like, I don't need her to drop that in every record for there to be this validity or this check mark next to her name, like, oh yeah, you're a real artist because I've heard you talk about this thing and this thing. I don't personally care. It don't mean that much to me whether you decide to talk about this or whether you decide to talk about that. It doesn't. But I feel this recent urge to kind of try to make a point out of everything because there's a song that comes out from a rapper that you may have held in high regard, and now the point has to be made about how they're failing as a rapper or hip hop at large for women now isn't where it's supposed to be because Megan Thee Stallion decided that she wanted to talk about her pussy again. Got people that are complaining about guys that have literally just been given to you, and you're mad because they're not, because those are the same people that are going to give you the best music you ever heard. And you also are telling me you don't want to look for it. You're also telling me you getting your music from playlist recommendations from a streaming service. We're in an ecosystem where the streaming service that you use will auto-correct to the guy who or girl's name that you're typing in, but they will not give you a recommendation for someone you haven't searched or known before. You have to understand the unevenness that you're playing on. That means at that point, if I'm more likely to find a rapper who I'm not looking for when I type in the letter D, does that not mean to you that you have to do more work as a listener if you claim to be a fan of the genre that you're listening to that extent, or you're trying to find somebody to fill that spot?
Rap music today is starting to become more hurtful than impactful, and it's definitely not one-sided. Male rappers set the tone years ago.
We say things that other MCs wish they could say. If Run DMC buddies do crap, they're not gonna say it because the record companies won't let them say it. First of all, you can't be affiliated with but, if it's happening, we gonna say it.
And it's only getting stronger today. Whether it's
a clip that you use as an example of an artist who is telling you some shit that's happening outside of the music that he's using as a reference point for the lyric, and you're saying that it is the fault of the rappers are the ones that are poisoning the community.
Casual mentions.
The very clip that you're using is a rapper telling you that I'm rapping about something that happens in real life.
Drill is based on the chaotic nature and frequent incidents of violence in certain neighborhoods on the south side of Chicago, especially in the Woodlawn area, also known as Drill City.
Wow, it's almost like a police officer's like patrolling the area. I wonder why.
Rapper from Woodland, Pac-Man, was the first one to use the word drill for describing
Chicago must have just got dangerous after the first drill song was made. Nothing happened in Chicago before the first drill song was made. Facts.
People used to rap to tell their stories, and today they still do. The only difference now is that there's marketing behind it. There's a label that's trying to push something. It's almost like there's an agenda being pushed to the community.
Holy shit. Bro, what are you talking about? It's labels being exploitive and just taking from a crop of people that they don't interact with and looking at somebody they can make money off of. That is quite literally it. And those stories do not go back to black people. Yes, these artists have black fans, but their core demographic is white folks. They sell the music to white people. It gets filtered to white listeners. Like there's a nigga that turned into King Von 2.0 because he heard King Von. Like the nigga didn't become the second, you know, coming of him because he just happened to live in the underbelly of Chicago. I don't understand.
Children. We already know how easily influenced kids are, especially when something is trendy, catchy, and cool.
Oh my God. I don't understand what this is supposed to be. I truly do not. You went out of your way to find an example of a little black boy with money in his pocket, doing a money spread and dressed like a YN. That's what you did. Do y'all know how many photos I have of myself like this? When I was 6 and 7 years old, I got videos of me throwing gang signs up with my dad, doing money spreads with my brother. Did I turn into King Von? It wasn't because I was listening to a rap song. And you could, like I said, you could quite literally just find the equivalent of this, the equivalent to this with a little black girl. This is how you choose to present the black boy, and this is how you choose to present the white girl. And then the remainder of the black videos are just this.
GTA.
It almost seems
What's wrong with this? Did y'all not sing with y'all friends when y'all was in school?
is shaping how these kids act and speak and how they want to be seen.
They're trying to find a way like so hard to aid in this death of hip hop narrative. It was pure back then, but it's dirty now, and because it's dirty now, it's having a ripple effect, and it's been having a ripple effect on the way that every black person or a lot of black people behave as opposed to conditions of their environment before they even listen to the rap song. Like the videos that I'm being shown here are of purposefully found videos of black kids speaking maybe profanity or doing something that you might not be a big fan of. Like they're purposefully sought out videos like this to try to prove this point.
Yeah, I'm on that money shit. If I hear him talking shit, then I'ma pull up with a mix.
Because why are we on that money at the age of what looks like 11?
We prioritize money over anything, over everything. American culture is capitalistic, and you're asking why he's on that money shit at 7. He just had a government shutdown for 45 fucking days damn near because they don't want to give niggas SNAP benefits. That was a consequence, my fault. You would think that because people weren't able to get their SNAP benefits, that would have motivated them to come to this conclusion that everybody needs the health care equally, but that didn't move the needle. You're right, my bad. I misquoted the whole situation. This is the same issue I had with people that did the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Every nigga that you saw talking about, nah, this is wrong, y'all dead wrong for laughing, you shouldn't be talking about somebody who's deceased like that. They didn't say a fucking word during the press tour that this nigga had when he was alive, talking about black people are this, gang violence is this, trans people are this. You're not around to have a discussion when the damage is being done, but you want to police niggas or people in general when they have a reaction to some of the opposition or some of the pressure being let up off of their neck. In the same way that you see something like this, you're asking why a kid born in America in 2000 whatever the fuck, one of the richest countries in the world, is prioritizing money, and then you're talking about his behavior as a boy as opposed to why are we so capitalistic? Why do we prioritize money over our citizens? Why in this country, when we have access to so much, do we not care about people dying when we could give them access to free healthcare? Whatever the fuck. We could do literally anything. They're not around to talk when the bad is happening, but they want to police what people do in response. It's always looking for the apple and not the tree.
Because no one sees a problem with this. But this is what
we doing it again. We got RT. Lil RT. How many boys do you know like this? I've never seen a little boy like Lil RT. Stop making this anomaly the standard. Like it's just a million of these little motherfuckers running around. They're not. I stopped listening to rap like in my headphones. The announcement for shit like, so what are you okay, boom, that's actually great. What are you listening to as a response? Like, what is now your genre of choice since you stopped listening to rap? They will not tell you.
Today makes 113 days that I have not listened to no rap, trap, or R&B, and honestly, it has been so.
You just grouped R&B in the same cat. Bro, we're like, okay, you want to do a rap cleanse, do a rap cleanse. You want to do a hip hop cleanse, do a hip hop cleanse. What the fuck that got to do with R&B? Do you see how these things just get grouped into one another? Like, we could just mention R&B in the same vein just because black.
This is coming from the biggest money bag yo, 21, Drake, I mean, you name it. I used to love it. When I stopped listening to it, call me weird, but I feel like my values of myself.
I got a white girl talking to me about how big of a fucking Moneybagg Yo fan she is. With the caption, why most rap music is actually terrible. I got a white girl telling me about how big of a Moneybagg Yo, 21 Savage and Drake fan she is. With a caption, why most rap is actually terrible. Yo, look at this nigga's dreads! I'm sorry, aesthetics mean shit, bro.
Exploded in how much I understand our worth more.
I went like a month without rap. I realized my...
Come on, dude. Come on, bro. I don't take you serious. I don't. I'm not even about to look at the screen. I'm dead not looking at the screen, on God.
Thinking was becoming more shallow.
Fuck is you doing, man?
I realized my feelings were becoming more irritable.
And
man, if you don't get your bitch ass...
I don't know about y'all, but to me, the power of the tongue is strong. And I truly believe that what you listen to can have an effect on your mind, your thoughts, your actions.
Yeah, these things are true, right? I'm not going to trivialize the point. I do think that there's power in the tongue. I do think that there is, you know, if you consume something of like too much, there are effects, but that's usually, especially when you're probably an adult, limited to food, my nigga. That's usually limited to food. If you have a working, functioning brain, you know how to filter through the things that you're listening to as entertainment and entertainment only. This is something that I listen to in my leisure. This is something that I listen to when I want to have a good time. But it's not something to model my life after 9 times out of 10. And if there is something here that I find some similarities to, if there is something here that I identify with, then cool. There's nothing that I need to change. I'm just hearing somebody articulate my story in a way that they think, you know, suits them best. You're saying kids don't know that? That's what parents are for. GTA is the most highest selling game in the fucking world, damn near, I'm sure. Nobody ever made these articles talking about, oh yeah, this nigga became a school shooter because he played too much as Michael. They probably did, you're right. But that's what the parents are there for, my nigga, stop. If a rap song is making you turn into a different person, how strong is your foundation? What are you doing? As a grown-up, as an adult human being, sentient person with your own autonomy, working and everything. You're telling me listening to too much Megan Thee Stallion turned you into a hoe? Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Because rapping back in the day used to be personal and vulnerable, but now it seems like it's pushing an agenda.
This is probably one of the worst videos I've seen in 2025, along with the Black Fatigue video from Blackie Speaks. Wait, you ain't see the Blackie Speaks vid? I'm gonna show you the thumbnail. It's right here. One of the worst videos I've ever, and the one we just watched, like nominated for top 2. And look at how many views those videos get. 500,000, 600,000. You know what really made me mad at Blackie Speaks? I tell you, it was when Takeoff died. That's what really made me disconnect. Perspective that I saw people entertaining in his comment section about Takeoff potentially inviting like the spirit of violence because his lyrics sometimes mirrored violent acts every now and again. That's when I really lost it. It is completely wrong. Fundamentally is wrong. At the basis and at the foundation is wrong. And when you have 500,000 people consuming something like that and thinking that that is the end all be all to an extent, it's kind of like you could complain about it in a similar vein when she's talking about there's no hip hop rapper or there's no rappers to listen to in the mainstream, or they're all releasing content in this way. So by default, when you hear like bad rap music, it's a reflection on the genre as a whole. This is just the state of rap. When you see a video like that and it's pushed into the algorithm and it's already got 500,000 views and there's no pushback against it, it can make people believe, oh yeah, this is the standard. Like, this must be the correct take. This must be what hip hop music is about right now. This must be what rappers are about right now. This is also their problem right now. There's not a video that's counteracting the Black Fatigue narrative at the same size that's growing at the same rate, or the rap fatigue narrative at the same size at the same rate. So yeah, fundamentally those videos are wrong. Fundamentally at their core, they hold racist values. They push certain propaganda. They put people in certain lights just to prove certain points. That's all dangerous. Yes, it's very harmful.